Start the clock. Here we are with the last little section, 5.3, and that's about sharing out proportions using the unitary method. Now, unitary has to do with 1. I just want to produce a question I remember from an old exam paper, which I've used a number of times, not in the book, but I want to introduce you to the whole concept of unitary method. Essentially, you divide up to find what one portion's worth, or what one portion costs, and then you multiply up to get the correct proportions that they want you to get in the question. So, for example, check this. We're told this: 2 pints of milk, and that they cost together 58p, what I remember. And the question is, what is the cost of 5 pints? So obviously I'm paraphrasing. Cost of 5 pints. Now, very simple. We take our 58p and we divide that by 2 to give us the cost of 1 pint. So we're looking at 29 pence per pint. Alright, so it's this per pint means I found the cost of just 1 pint, hence unitary method. I'll write it over here. So I found the cost of 1 item or 1 unit. I can now find the cost of many. In this case, the many is the 5 pints. So I now have 5 lots of 29p, and I know the answer to that is 145 pence, better known as £1.45. Now, think about that for a minute. Straightforward, you'd expect on the mathematics, but in real life, we've made some assumptions here. You should know that as we buy more pints, we get a bigger and bigger volume of milk in bigger cartons on bigger plastic bottles. It tends to be cheaper per pint. So, for example, the price of 1 pint will be so many pence, but the price of a 2 pint plastic bottle will be not quite twice the price of a single pint. So in practice, supermarkets tend to, let you have it cheaper if you buy a bigger quantity in a bigger container. So whilst mathematically the 145 is correct, the assumption I've made is it will always cost the same per pint no matter what volume I buy. Is that alright? So if you want to explain it to an examiner ever, that's what you should say, things like that. Now I think I'll do another question. Question 2, this is taken from page 67, that's it, grade C rated. I'll read it and then we'll do it. So this is all about Dave. It says Dave drove 246 miles. I'm going to write that down, so I know I'm going to need that. And he used 25.4 litres of diesel. So he's got a diesel then. Okay, Dave. And that's diesel. Alright, so that many miles required that much diesel. And question 8 says, how many litres of diesel does Dave need for a 400-mile journey? Okay then, well, let's find out what 1 mile is worth. I take my 25.4 litres and I share that amongst the 246 miles. Now, if I was to take my calculator and do that divided by 246 and press equals, I will find out the amount of litres or parts of a litre are required to do just 1 mile. That's the unitary method. But I don't require to show that step, so why don't I just say times 400 and do it in one go? Alright, so that part gives you the unitary step, the amount of diesel for 1 mile. Grab one's calculator and go for it. So 25.4, divide that by 246, bang, there's an answer. I'm not going to tell you what that is. Multiply by 400. I will require 41.3 litres to do 400 miles. So 41.3 litres of diesel. Alright, that's part A done. Try and do B here, should fit. B says, how far can he go on 10 litres of diesel? Alright, so here I go then. 10 divided by 5.4 multiplied by 246. That should give me the amount of miles I'd expect to go on just 10 litres. So look at it carefully. It's this fraction of 246. Alright, so grab my machine. 10 divided by 25.4 multiplied by 246. So with 10 litres I should expect to go less than 246, obviously. In fact, my calculator says 96 rounding to one decimal place, 9 miles. I nearly wrote litres there. I'm sure you realise that. Is that okay? Didn't hurt, did it? Right. But it's here visiting us again in question 3. It's about toothpaste, and I won't draw the whole table. I'll just give you the gist of it. So toothpaste is come in 3 sizes. We've got small, we've got standard, and we've got large. Alright, now this is the amount of toothpaste in the small, 50 ml or millilitres. The standard is 75 millilitres, and the large one is 100 millilitres. Looks sensible, and this is the price of them. 99p for the small, £1.10 for the standard, and for the large one we're looking at £1.28. And we're asked which size gives the most toothpaste for 1 penny. That is a great hint. They used to ask which is the better buy, show all your working. Well, I'm going to show all my working. Now the cheapest tube will be the one that gives me the more mils of toothpaste for every penny that I spend. Therefore I should divide it as follows. Here's the small one. I take my let's have a look. I'll take my 50 ml, divide that by 99p, grab a machine. 50 divided by 99 gives me 0.51, this is 2 decimal places by the way, millilitres per penny spent. Alright, so it's a little over half a milliliter for every penny. Now try that with the standard. I'll leave my calculator on. I'm going to take my 75 millilitres and divide by not 1.10 but 110 pence. Again, we must have similar units to make valid comparisons. Take the calculator. 75 millilitres divided by 110 pence. This will give me rather 0.68 millilitres per penny spent. Straight away the standard is winning. I'm getting more millilitres per penny spent. Now we'll try the large. 100 ml or millilitres divided by 128 pence will give me 0.78 millilitres for every penny spent. So therefore the best buy, the one that costs least per penny, is the large. So I'm going to put packets of bird seed. I've got 5.50 kilogram bag, and that's going to cost me £15 and 65p. Alright, so put a little pound sign there. Next one is 12.75 kilograms, and that's going to cost me £28 exactly. And the last one is going to be 25.5 kilogram. Let's put a 0 on it so it matches, and that's going to cost me £53 exactly. Alright, so 3 different sizes of birdseed, small, medium, large, whatever you want to call it. And then it says find the cost of 1 kilogram of bird food for each of these different packet sizes. Find the cost of 1 kilogram. Well, let's do it to the side. If I take out this £15.65 and divide it by 5.50, I'm going to find the cost per kilogram. In other words, in pounds per kilogram. So £15.65 divided by 5.5 kilograms gives me 2 pounds. I suppose the nearest penny, if you look at it very carefully, is 84p. 285, so it's 285 per kilogram. That's that one. Do the same with the other two. So I'm going to take my £28, share that amongst the 12.75 kilograms. Let's do that right now. So £28 divided by 12.75 gives me £2 and 20. Look at it very carefully on your calculator, follow me. It's £2.20 per kilogram, and that's significantly cheaper. I'm anticipating the last one being even cheaper, so let's just do it. £53 in money divided by 25.50 kilograms, so 53 divided by 25.5, that gives us £2 and 8p per kilogram. Alright, so obviously the more you buy, the cheaper it is. So that's part A done. It says which pack offers the best value for money. Well, we've done the calculation. That is a lot cheaper than any of the other two, so therefore the £2.50 kilogram bag is the best value. That answers part B. All that was A, and that little bit was B, based upon the knowledge up there. And then it says find the cost of a 25.5 kilogram pack if the price per kilogram was the same as for the 5.5 kilogram pack. Okay, that's quite complicated. In other words, they want me to buy this, but instead of charging £2.08 per kilogram, they want me to charge the same price as if I was buying 5.5 kilograms. And look at the price of it. It's £2.85. So I've got to multiply that by £2.85, and we'll see what the total cost is buying it that way. That's what the question says. So 25.5 kilos times £2.85, and that's going to cost an awful lot. So £72.675 rounds off to 68, so £72.68. There you go. That's an awful lot more expensive than that £53 it should cost, shouldn't it? But there you go. Part D, give one advantage and one disadvantage of buying a 25.5 kilogram pack. Okay, let's get sensible. The advantages, clearly much cheaper. Disadvantage, well, a number of things really. Imagine carrying 25.5 kilograms of birdseed back to your house. Even getting it from the garden centre to your car is going to be an effort. So, very heavy to carry. Now, this is a legitimate answer. It's an everyday problem, so you can give real down-to-earth answers. So we're allowed to do that in mathematics. After all, mathematics serves life. Life doesn't serve mathematics. So that's a real disadvantage. It's really heavy to carry and therefore inconvenient. But please don't write down things like, oh, it's inconvenient. Explain how. It's very heavy to carry. Don't want to do that or that or that. I really fancy doing question 7 on page 66. It just looks challenging. So hopefully I can do it up here. This is what it says. 80% of a number is 16. Okay then. So 80% of something is 16. What is the number? Okay, check it out. So 80% means 80 divided by 100 times a number is 16. Alright, just make life simpler. Cancel out zeros straight away. I'm left with 8x equals 16 times 10. Jumping the gun there. So 8x equals 160. So the number they're looking for is 160. Divide it by 8, and I can see 8 goes in 16 twice, so that's going to be 20. Alright, so 80% of 20 is 16. Lovely.